Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the brand new 2022 Netflix original show, Season 2 of Young Royals. So this leaves off about a week after our intrepid heroes come back from their winter break, their Christmas break. It's it's still dealing with the aftermath. August leaked the sex tape of well, it's not a tape, it's a video technically that he recorded on his phone of Simon and Simone and Crown Prince Willie. And so it's a matter of, what do Omar Rudberg's character and Evan Riding's characters do still in the aftermath? It affected Simone obviously a lot more than it did Edvig's character of Willie, because it's to protect the royal family. Very much Fast and Furious for family, right? But what happens when your family member is actually the reason for this downfall, for this drama? So Willie is dealing with anxiety. He's dealing with pressure. He never wanted to be the crown prince. His brother Eric was the crown prince. Unfortunately, with his passing, Willie now has to take up the mantle, take up the crown. But what happens, because he's still in love with Simone, and Simone is now trying to move on because he doesn't want the drama, and he still doesn't know who technically recorded it and posted it. But his sister Sarah knows, and Sarah's the one who's actually dating August this entire time. And Sarah's now, there's this whole back and forth stuff, especially with Felice and Felice and Willie getting together very briefly in an awkward moment of desperation, basically on his front. But it's just so much drama at this elite private school about these, elite people in high aristocratic standings, minus some peasants, quote unquote, thrown in the mix for scholarship charity aspect. So what happens? Will Willie actually not take the crown in order to be with Simon, because they're 16 and he has to wait till he's 18 to publicly do these things according to his mother, and all of these things, right? It has to be orchestrated, all these things per tradition. So when Willie makes his speech at the end in celebrating the 120 years of, Hilcerka, the school they go to, Hilcerka, I don't speak Swedish, so I can't really pronounce it correctly. When he breaks the script and he goes on to, what's the point of traditions if there's no change? There has to be change. No one is going to evolve if we just stay doing the same thing. And he confesses that it was him in the video with Simon, and it's not fair that, all this stuff is happening, and there has to be change. There has to be change. And the smirk that the two of them give each other at the end, bro, my jaw dropped. Wig cinched, jaw dropped. It was insane. I got goosebumps and chills, and it's so unfortunate. It's only 6 episodes long. Season 1 is 6, season 2 is 6. I can't fathom when we're going to get the next season. It's not even announced that a season 3 is happening, but it's done so well within ratings and audience members alike. If you watch Heartstopper, you watch Young Royals. And what's really great about it is that, and of course, there's toxic fandoms in all aspects, especially with everything that's going on with poor Kit Harington right now, having to out himself because of the constant torment he received on Twitter. It's just so unfortunate that obviously those people didn't understand the point of Heartstopper, didn't understand it. So with that fandom in the logical side, not the antagonistic side, we have no issues with the fact that Young Royals is in Swedish and Heartstopper is in English. It's once you realize that all cultures have stories to share, stories to be told, it doesn't matter that you don't speak the language. If you can read subtitles. It's not hard. It's really not hard to be immersed into a world where you're not familiar with that language. Yes, Young Royals is in Swedish, Spanish, and English, but the primary language is in Swedish. So it's really cool getting to experience a different culture, a different, language as the primary language within a show that I don't speak. I have no problem watching foreign films, watching foreign shows. Non-American based, that's the better word for that. It's great to see different cultures, and it's great to experience different cultures, different stories, different language, different art, different music, different lifestyles. So it's realizing it's a we, not a me, and once you get past that me mindset of, no, it's not in English, I'm not going to watch it. Then you can experience a whole world of possibilities. It's amazing. Another thing I want to point out, though, that with Young Royals, especially the ups and downs, the twists and turns, the cast did an incredible job with the character development, the story aspect. The writers did a great job moving the story forward. Very difficult to do, especially because it's not based on anything. Heartstopper, we have the benefit of it being based on something. Red, White, and Royal Blue is a big comparison to Young Royals Season 2 because of the whole a royal dating someone who's not a royal, right? Red, White, and Royal Blue, we're getting on Amazon Prime sometime next year. I can't wait for that. But that is the Crown Prince of England getting together with the first son of the Americans, of the Americas. First son of the United States of America. There we go. So it's different. U.S. royal to British royal. Kind of royal to royal, right? That's different compared to Swedish royal with commoner Simone, right? The songwriter. So how does that work as opposed to how do they work? Still royal to royal, but still different, right? So that's the neat part about it being compared because it's different. It's very different. Yes, it's another type of Cinderella story, of course, but this is another take to it. It's another aspect to it. It's hard to do by itself when there's no source material. Red, White, and Royal Blue has source material. It's a book by Casey McQuiston. The Heartstopper series is written by Alice Osman, and she actually is the one who is the screenwriter and creator of the show on Netflix. So they have all the creative aspects to that show because it's their property. Very cool. So to have that as the source material being translated to screen, awesome. Red, White, and Royal Blue, I think Casey is just a consultant. I don't think she wrote the script for it. I don't even know if she's a producer on it. I feel like she is. I feel like they are. I'd have to look into that. But to have the point of my rant is Young Royals is not based on a book. It's not based on a graphic novel. It's been not based on a book series. It's not based on anything. It's just a story. And it's cool to see that you don't know what's going to happen next. When you watch something that's based on something, you kind of have a gist of where it's going to go, right? Certain scenes, certain plot points have to be there for it to be the source material. When it's changed drastically, aka Walking Dead, it's irrelevant. It should just say loosely based and inspired by source material, not based off of the best-selling blah-de-blah, right? Completely different, right? So for Heartstopper to be very page to screen, very cool. I'm very nervous about Red, White, and Royal Blue, but I am very excited as well. But Young Royals could easily be its own comic series. It could easily be its own book series. It has that kind of, scandal, layers of scandal, but it's not. And that's what's cool about it, because it could be, but it's not. So I can't fathom what happens next with the speech at the end, the last 5 minutes, bro. It was just wild, absolutely wild. Hashtag Wild Stallions. Shout out to Bill and Ted. Wild, W-Y-L-D, wild, wild. So on to season 3, whenever that happens, whenever it's announced. I can't wait. I'm so impressed with how well done everybody did with this property, and the interview cycle of Edvin and Omar is just absolutely hysterical. Them riding each other of who takes longer in hair and makeup and who does this behind the scenes. It's just really fun watching friends be friends on screen and off screen. So I'm always a sucker for that. I talk about it all the time. Great show. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.